Welcome to the Explainer. We use apps on our phones every single day, but have you ever just stopped and wondered what is actually going on inside of them? What makes them tick? Well, today we're going to do just that. We're peeling back the layers of what seems like a super simple app, a PDF reader, to really get a look at its inner workings, from the promises it makes on the App Store all the way down to the code that makes it all happen. So you're scrolling through the Google Play Store, and this is the first thing you see. It's a simple, friendly promise, right? Read and manage all your PDFs with ease. It sounds so straightforward. It's designed to feel totally effortless. A simple tool for a simple job. But behind that one little sentence, there's a whole world of technical hurdles, design choices, and even business decisions. So let's peek behind that curtain together. Let's dive in and see what it really takes to make an app like this actually work for you. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the promises. This is what you, the user, see on the app storefront. It's what sets your expectations before you even think about hitting that install button. So the app is promising it'll automatically scan for your files, give you a great viewing experience, let you sort and search like a pro, and share things easily. You know what? These aren't just random features. They're pretty much the bare minimum you'd expect from a utility app today. The core promise here is effortless. Let's see if the tech actually backs that up. So the moment you install and open the app, the first real interaction happens. And it's not about reading PDFs. Not yet. It's this critical moment, kind of like a digital handshake, where the app has to ask your phone for permission to do its job. To find all your PDFs, the app obviously needs to be able to look at your files. But in the world of modern smartphones, it's not a simple yes or no anymore. The app has to be smart enough to navigate the very specific security rules of your version of Android. And right here, this is our first real glimpse into that hidden complexity. See, on newer Android phones, privacy is locked down much tighter. So to do that deep scan for files, this app needs to ask for a really powerful all-access pass. On older phones, the request is a bit more, traditional. A good app has to know how to ask for the right thing on the right device. It's all about playing by the rules of the operating system. All right, so permissions granted, the handshake is complete. Now we can finally open the hood and look inside the engine room. This is the core technology, the collection of tools and frameworks that the developer actually used to build all those features we just talked about. The whole thing is built using Flutter, which is a modern toolkit from Google. And the big advantage here, the reason a developer would choose this, is efficiency. They can write the code one time and it just works as a native-feeling app on different platforms, like Android. It's a really popular and powerful choice for a reason. Okay, now this is where it gets really cool. You see, an app isn't just one giant blob of code. It's more like it's assembled from a toolkit of specialized parts. So for actually viewing the PDF, the developer uses a high-quality component from a company called Syncfusion. And for that permission handshake we talked about, they use something called a permission handler. He's like the polite bouncer at the door, asking for your ID. And to remember your settings, like how you like to sort files, it uses shared preferences, which is basically the app's short-term memory. Every single piece has a very specific job. All right, so we've seen the promises, we've seen the toolkit, now let's connect the dots. How does that engine, that collection of tools, actually power the features that you interact with? Let's start with that first big promise. The app will just automatically find all your PDFs. No need for you to go digging through folders. It sounds a little like magic, doesn't it? But it's actually a very logical, step-by-step process. Here's how it pulls it off. First, it scans your storage. And this part is so important, it's programmed to completely ignore sensitive system folders. That's smart, because it prevents errors. But it's also our first big hint about its respect for your privacy. Then, and here's the clever bit, it caches those file locations. It basically remembers where everything is. That's why the app feels lightning fast the second time you open it. All the heavy lifting is already done. Next up, that promise of smart sorting and searching. Okay, so you've got a giant list of files, you need to find the right one, and you need to find it fast. So how does the tech make that happen? Well, it's powered by a few really clever tricks.
The search bar filters your list in real time as you're typing. And hey, remember that shared preferences tool? It's back again. This time, it's remembering your last sorting choice. So if you like to see the newest files first, it'll just remember that for next time. And to make sure you never, ever see the same file twice in your list, it uses a nifty programming tool called a set. A set, just by its nature, can only hold unique items. It's such a simple, elegant way to guarantee your list is always clean.
So this app is doing all this stuff, and it's doing it for free. Which, leads to a very practical question. How in the world does the developer pay the bills? And that brings us to the business model, to monetization.
The first part of their strategy is banner ads. You've seen these a million times. They're those small, pretty unobtrusive ads that are just kind of fixed to one part of the screen. In this app, there's one sitting right at the top of your file list. It generates a little revenue without really getting in your way.
The second part of the strategy is what we call interstitial ads. Yep, the full screen ones that pop up between activities. But, and this is a really important choice the developer made, it only shows up right before a PDF opens, not while you're trying to read. It's a clear trade-off. You get a constant but subtle banner on the main screen, and then a bigger ad that only shows up during a natural pause. That's their strategy for making money without totally ruining your focus. Okay, let's bring this all home. We've looked at the promises. We've gone through the tech. We've even seen the business model. Now, armed with everything we've learned, let's go back and look at the app's single most important claim. This one. This is probably the boldest claim of them all, stated right on the Google Play Store page. No data shared with third parties. In today's world, that is a huge statement. The question is, can we actually prove it? Yes. Yes, we can. And you know what? The evidence has been right in front of us this whole time. Think about it. The app only asks for the one permission it needs, file access, nothing more. We saw that it is hard-coded to ignore those sensitive system folders. We know that all the scanning, the sorting, the viewing, it all happens locally, right there on your device. Nothing is being sent up to some random server. This is the payoff. Those technical details we uncovered, they aren't just trivia. They are the cold, hard proof that backs up the developer's big privacy promise. So the technology inside this simple PDF reader, it actually tells a really clear story. It's a story about performance, and it's a story about privacy. And it's a story that's written in code, not just in marketing slogans. Which leaves just one last question, really. A question for you. Do you know the story behind the other apps on your phone?